Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I am the Shonen Saint, and today I wanted to make a little list type video talking about future Disney bosses I would like to see in the Kingdom Hearts series. Now this isn't particularly Kingdom Hearts 4, it is just future Kingdom Hearts games in general, and I wanted to make this list because one of my favorite aspects about going to Disney worlds in Kingdom Hearts is their villains and potential boss fights, fighting these villains for the first time. And I feel like the past few Kingdom Hearts games, really since like Dream Drop and really 3, we've kind of been lacking on Disney villains. Or not Disney villains, but they're Disney boss fights. I feel like each game has kind of just gotten less and less, and we usually end up fighting a giant Heartless. Now, I do think some of these boss fights can be fun and all, but I wish they would have more Disney villains as fightable characters. And I understand not every Disney villain has powers or abilities or can be a boss fight, but just something short and sweet could always work. And just finding a way to do it as well. And I came up with a list of about 6 villains that I feel like would make perfect boss fights in the future of Kingdom Hearts games. And I'm going to go over them and kind of talk about how they would work really. I'm not going to just kind of talk about why I just want to see them, but yeah, let's get into this. Now, the first Disney boss I want to talk about is the Headless Horseman from the Sleepy Hollow section of the Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. Now, this is actually a boss fight I would absolutely love to see, but I don't think it would really work in an Ichabod and Toad world. I just can't ever see that movie getting a full-on Disney World, maybe segments in like Disney Town, which plus I got a video about how I want to see Disney Town represented in the future, but that's not here. The Headless Horseman, I think, could work as some sort of a secret boss. Now, you know, in the past, we've seen some Disney secret boss fights, kind of like Monstro and Julius in the past. So I think the Headless Horseman would work as a secret boss fight. He'd run around on his horse, really. Like, how he would work is he would run around on his horse, and he would primarily slash at you, and he would throw his pumpkin head at you, and I'm sure they could come up with other more creative things, but that's just a few ideas of how he could work. I think this is an iconic Disney villain, and he's not just an iconic Disney villain, he's kind of an iconic villain just in general, and Disney has a version of him, and I think he would be really cool as a boss fight, especially a secret boss fight. Like, this is like the one I can see being a secret boss fight in a future Kingdom Hearts game. So yeah, this is just one of the few that I think would work as a secret boss. Now, the next one I want to talk about, I do want to see an actual world based off this movie, and that is Dr. Felicier from The Princess and the Frog. Now, this is actually a villain I desperately want to see in the future Kingdom Hearts game. I just think, like, his role, like, I don't want to get too theorizing, but I theorize he could potentially be a huge villain like Maleficent and Pete are in the series. But outside of that, his boss fight would just be so cool. Just him using all that types of voodoo magic, maybe summoning in the shadow people, you know, I think that would be really cool. Plus him, like, he could like transform you into different types of things that could make the boss fight more difficult, and you have to work around that. Here's a quick idea I just came up at the top of my head. Say you go to other Disney worlds where your body transforms in some way, or maybe some past ones from past games where he like transforms Sora into a tiny toy, so now you have to fight him as a tiny toy. Or I theorize, like, in that world, you would potentially probably be a frog or something of that type throughout the world. He turns you into that. You have to fight him as that and work around with that. Maybe he turns Sora into a lion Sora from the Lion King. You have to work around that. I just think something like that would work really well, and I think it would make the boss fight unique and just keep you on your toes at all times. So yeah, Dr. Felicier, I think, would work as a wonderful boss fight. Now, this next one is something that just screams video game boss fights, and that's the Jabberwocky from the Alice in Wonderland 2010 Tim Burton remake, sequel, whatever that movie is, the Jabberwocky. Now, I do want to see this world again return in Kingdom Hearts. I've theorized a little bit in the past that Wonderland could have that evolution that we saw with some other worlds where it transforms from the Space Paradise to the Grid, where we transform the Wonderland, into Underland, and I think the Jabberwocky would be a perfect boss fight in that world. Alice, Mad Hatter as party members. There's not much to really go to the imagination. It's a giant dragon who spits fire like that. That just works. The area is a great boss fight area. I mean, it just works. It just works. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but it just works. Now, this is one that I want to keep talking about, and I do want to make a future video of really explaining why I want this. But this next one is Leroy from the Leroy and Stitch movie. Leroy himself, I just think, again, he makes a great video game boss fight. He is the polar opposite of Stitch. He is more tappable Stitch. He's just crazy and more powerful. And his final, you could probably fight him a couple times throughout the world, but his final boss fight you would have against him is something very similar to the 1,000 Heartless boss fight from Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3. I think this would just work. The I think stadium area that they have this battle in, it would work. In the background, you might see some of the other experiments, party members. Of course, Stitch would be there with you. Maybe Gantu if they wanted to work that somehow in there. But I definitely think this would just be a really cool boss fight, kind of paying homage to that 1,000 Heartless boss fight. And then, of course, at the end, you would have, of course, that one main Leroy that you got to battle off against, the one in the black suit. I would absolutely love to see Leroy and Stitch represented in Kingdom Hearts. I think that is the proper way to represent Lilo and Stitch in the Kingdom Hearts games. And again, that's another future video I want to make about that. But for now, Leroy, I think it should be a future boss fight. This next one is just, again, screams video game boss fights, and that is the Horn King from the Black Cauldron. I desperately want the Black Cauldron to be a world in Kingdom Hearts. I know. It's a low-selling Disney movie. It's not something that Disney likes to talk about, but I just think it works so well. It would just work so well. The Horn King, in the movie, actually didn't really get defeated in a proper way, so I think Kingdom Hearts in some way can make Taran and Sora and the Horn King just have a really good final fight in some way. You can have the Horn King, using dark magic. He has been shown capable that he... Oh, no, never mind. I'm not going to go into that. I was going to say he can use a sword, but he never uses a sword. But I think it would just work so well. We can kind of fix up the ending of that movie a little bit. I know it's a kind of a rushed ending. And yeah, we can actually see Taran and the Horn King actually fight. He can summon the skull guys, the skeletons, the little dead army can come out during the boss fight. I think this would all work really well for a Horn King boss fight. And now the final boss fight I want to talk about today in this video is one that I absolutely believe should have been in Kingdom Hearts 3 in a secret boss manner, or even in the actual game. And I think it was kind of a missed opportunity, and that is Zerg from Toy Story. I don't know why he wasn't in Kingdom Hearts 3. They were in the Toy Store. I don't know. He could have been a secret boss fight again. He didn't have to be fit into the story, but I think Zerg would just work so well. No, not this version of Zerg. Get that out of here. We're talking about this version of Zerg, the Toy Story Zerg. I think that would be such a cool boss fight. Maybe if they wanted to go into a phase 2, you can bring in this version somehow. But yeah, no, that looks better. That looks better. But no, I definitely think Zerg should definitely be a future boss, because I definitely do believe we'll go back to Toy Story at some point. So far, that world has been one of the most important worlds in all of Kingdom Hearts. So I think we should definitely revisit again. And I definitely think we should have a Zerg, but get out of here, a Zerg boss fight in a future Kingdom Hearts game. Anyways, everybody, that's my video. What are some Disney villains you want to see appear as future bosses in Kingdom Hearts games? You can throw out anything. If you want to say Elsa, which I 100% believe she should have been a boss in Kingdom Hearts, but we're not talking about that for now. What do you guys want to see in a future Kingdom Hearts game? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.